Hello, this is Hiva from Leathercraft School. Welcome to day 37 of beginner course. Today we will work on a project using a rivet. The project for today is this glasses case. The difficulty level is not too high, so even those who just started leather work should be able to manage it. I've included links to the pattern in the description below, so please print it out and follow along. Let's dive in. Here are the tools we will use for this project: utility knife or leather knife, mallet, scratch awl, stitch groover, edge beveler, 2-prong spraying irons, needles, tokonole or tokopuro, contact cement, water-based glue, hole punches, 12mm glove snap setter, rivet setter, snap setting base, 400 grit sandpaper, and creasing iron. The creasing iron is optional, so you can complete the project without it. And these are the materials we will be using. Vegetable tan leather. I recommend using leather with a thickness of 4 to 5 ounce, 1.5 to 2mm, and 2 hardwares, 12mm glove snaps and 9mm rivets. The sizes are just a guideline, so feel free to adjust according to your preference. And thread. I will be using a minimum number 5, but any leathercraft thread will work. Once you gather all tools and materials, let's prepare the pattern. Once you print out the pattern, let's glue it to craft paper and cut it along the line. On piece A, there are 4 holes marked for hardware, so punch the holes according to the size shown in the pattern. For piece B, there are 2 hardware placements, so punch holes as well. Once all preparations are complete, let's start crafting. The first step is to cut out the leather pieces. First, trace the pattern onto the leather using a scratch awl. Let's start with piece A. Since the pieces are large, use a paper weight to hold the pattern in place to prevent shifting. I use a snap setting base as a paperweight. Once you trace the pattern, also mark the pre-punched hole for hardware using a scratch awl. Once you mark all pre-punched holes, let's do the same process with piece B. Once you trace both pieces, let's cut out the pieces. First, let's start with tight corners on piece A. Since these corners are tight and hard to cut out with a knife, we will use a hole punch. Use a 4.5mm or 3/16 inches hole punch to make clean cuts. Once you cut out these corners using a hole punch, use a leather knife or utility knife to cut out the pieces. It is important to angle the knife when cutting curves. Use the hole punch size shown in the pattern. Punch a total of 6 holes. Use a marking pen to mark these 2 additional lines on the flesh side. Once you cut out a piece A, let's move on to the piece B. The next step is finishing the flesh side. First, apply tokonole or tokopuro evenly onto the flesh side. And use a gloss burnisher or canvas cloth to make the flesh side smooth. Once you finish the flesh side, let's finish the edges. we will finish above these two lines we made when tracing the pattern and this part. First, apply water slightly to the edges. Use 400 grit sandpaper to smooth them. Use an edge beveler to round off the edges. Apply Chocono or Chocopuro. Then varnish with canvas cloth. Once you're done with piece A, let's repeat the same process with piece B. Once you finish all edges, let's crease along the finished edge. This is an optional step. If you do not have a creasing iron or follow this beginner course and learn leather work, don't worry, we will cover creases in future lessons, so you can skip this step. Of course, it is a matter of personal preference whether or not to crease. So if you don't think you need it, you don't have to put it in at all. Once you crease the edges, let's insert the hardware. First, let's start with attach the male snap. Insert the post through the hole from the flash side. Place the male snap cap over the post. Use the snap setter and flat side of snap setting base to secure it. Once you attach it, please make sure to see if the snap spins. Next, let's attach the female snap. Once you attach the both snaps, let's attach the rivet. Insert the rivet post from the grain side of piece A. Insert the rivet cap through piece B. And squeeze the rivet from both sides by fingers until you hear a click sound. Then use a rivet setter to secure it. Once you attach one rivet, repeat the same process for the other rivet. The next step is gluing pieces together. We will glue the edges below these two lines. First, roughen the flesh side using a knife or roughing tool. Apply contact cement to both sides and let it dry for about 3 minutes. Once the glue gets dry, carefully align the edges and glue it together. Once you glue pieces together, let's make the edges smooth. Apply water to the edge and make edges smooth using sandpaper. Once you finish the edges, let's start stitching the pieces. First, let's draw a stitch guide 3 mm from the edge using a stitch groover. Then, use a scratch awl to make a hole right before this end. Repeat the same process with the other side. Once you make a hole, use 2-prong pricking irons to punch holes. First, hook 2-prong irons at the opening and press it to mark. Once you make a mark, we will punch holes from this point to the end point using 2-prong irons. Once you have punched to about halfway, let's adjust the spacing of stitch holes. If you don't know how to adjust the spacing, I've included the links to day 24 of the beginner course, so please check it. Once you punch holes using pricking irons, let's make holes using scratch holes at the start and end points. Now we are ready to start stitching. Let's start with a double stitch for the first stitch to make opening durable. Then use the saddle stitch technique and stitch it to the end point. Once you stitch it to the end, let's finish it with 2 back stitches to secure the thread. Once you made a back stitch, let's finish the thread ends. Since both the front and back of this case will be visible, use the seamless method technique to finish the thread ends. If you don't know how to finish thread ends using seamless method, I also included links to the lesson, so please check it. Once you stitch one side, let's repeat the same process with the other side. And here's the final step. Let's do the final finishing. Apply water to the edge and smooth out the edge using sandpaper. Apply Tokno or Tokopuro and burnish edges using canvas cloth. Let's repeat this process until the edges get smooth and shiny. And now, your Leathercraft case project is complete. That's all for today. How was it? I hope you can complete the project. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please give me a like and subscribe for more Leathercraft tips. See you in the next lesson. Bye!